Our beloved DC shows are taking a holiday break, but not without first leaving us with lots of epic action, twists, and plot turns. We're going to talk about it all on Super Chat. Hey everyone, welcome to Super Chat. Last week, the whole DC universe teamed up to combat the Dominators, but now they're back to their own problems in their own cities and worlds. Earth 3, Earth 2, who knows? And it is time to chat about it on Super Chat. I'm so glad to have everyone here today. I'm your host, Just Jess, and I have some great guests who are all new to the show, and they're going to be talking about some fun events coming up this weekend. We've got Rick Fortenberry, David Hinson, and Jonathan Rosenbaum. Rick and Dave, you guys do Charlotte Comicon. Tell us about that. It's coming up real soon. When can we go? What's it all about?
Well, this Sunday, December the 11th, from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. at the Embassy Suites at Concord Mills.
Okay.
It's Concord Convention Center, exit 49, $5 admission. Kids 12 and under get in free.
Oh, that's a good
And
deal.
we'll have 117 tables at the show, full of merchandise from dealers from all over the country, 50 artists and writers.
What? Wow.
And a lot of guests that Rick can tell you about.
What's the special guest that you have?
We're very excited to have Mr. Vic Carabato at the show.
Okay.
Who is a actual worked in the 1950s at Atlas Comics, has a story in Journey into Mystery 1.
Wow.
And he's very excited about coming, and I hope we all give him a very big welcome this Sunday.
And people can meet him? Can they get sketches or anything done by him?
Yes, he will be there for sketches and signing comics and whatever, yes.
So this Sunday, now how long has Charlotte Comic Con been going on?
14 years
Wow.
this month.
This is actually our 15th year.
This is the 15th
year.
Yeah.
We started in February 2002.
Do you have any
2002.
favorite years, any favorite memories you want to share from the convention?
Well, a couple of times we had Miss Noel Neal as a special guest, which was very special.
Yeah.
She was a wonderful lady. She was going to come back the third time, and unfortunately fell in Metropolis at the Superman thing they do there and broke her hip.
Oh gosh.
And never could make it back, but that was a very special time for us.
Yeah.
We also had Miss Erin Gray one time, who was on Buck Rogers as a guest.
Wow, how
So
fun.
that's three of the best memories we've got for sure.
Very cool. So this Sunday, if you're in Charlotte, get out. If you're in the region, come to it. $5, and it's kids 12 and under are free?
That's correct.
Yes, Charlotte Comic Con. And one of the artists that will be there is Jonathan Rosenbaum from majaNation. Tell us what you've been working on. You have been doing a lot.
Yeah, people say that. I actually I had done a graphic novel a few years ago. It's a children's friendly graphic novel about a dog detective. He's got the cone because he's obsessed with his tail.
Radar scent of a feline.
Yes, he's on the case. And a few years ago, I did this book with my wife. We were talking about how zombies are slow and vampires are fast, and we got the idea from the tortoise and the hare.
That's so fun.
So it's like the tortoise and the hare, but it's a zombie and a vampire.
Cute.
I'm actually working on my next children's book called The Adorable Beastling. It's like the Ugly Duckling, but instead of her being ugly, she's just so cute, and beastlings are supposed to be fierce.
And she doesn't fit in because of her cuteness.
Yeah, but that's okay. She ends up being a dragon.
Okay, good. Well, the story has a happy ending. Now,
Yes,
if
it
people
does.
want to buy these, where can they go?
Well, I do sell my books online at my majaNation site.
Yes.
And also, you actually can get these on Amazon as well.
And we see some of the prints you've done
Yep,
here.
yep.
Flash.
The Flash I do sell a lot of my prints at the show. In fact, I'll be at the show coming up, and a lot of shows in this general area.
Charlotte Comic Con. So
Yes.
go to majaNation.com if you would like to buy anything, and check that out. You actually brought this print in with you.
It's actually the original,
This
and I'll
is
be giving it to
amazing.
you.
The original. Wow. How cool is that? That's me.
Yeah, and I put you in there,
That's
and
so
just
cool.
Flash is just chattering away, and they're all kind of like over it.
They're flash chatting.
Yeah, exactly.
Super chatting. That's
Yeah, super
amazing. Very cool.
Yeah, it was flash chat when we first talked about us going on the show, and I didn't realize it had changed.
Then you had to draw a million more things.
I know. I had to throw them all in there.
Very cool. So we're excited for Charlotte Comic-Con. Come out, meet you, see you guys. It's going to be a fun weekend. And another artist that we have a special message from is Joey Ellis. He has something that he wants everybody to check out. Take a look.
Hi everyone, I'm Joey Ellis, and a few years ago we published this graphic novel called Leaky Timbers, starring Wolfie Monster and his two older brothers. You can buy this at leakytimbers.com, and I will love you forever. Over the past 3 years, we've been working on taking this brilliant piece of literature and turning it into a TV show with puppet versions of each character. Part of that TV pitch is this crazy video we've made, and I would love for you to check it out. So go ahead, check it out, or else I will cry.
We don't want Joey to cry. No. So go to leakytimbers.com, check it out. It's pretty funny. I've checked it out. I have his book, and it's a funny little show.
His stuff is great.
Yeah, so, and you've probably seen, he does a lot, if you're in Charlotte, he does a lot of shirts for the Panthers, the Chewbacca Panther one last year, and then I think the one that supported Greg Olson's charity, I think. Yeah. He's done a couple really cool ones, so you probably have seen Joey Ellis's work. And we want to give a special thanks to Lance Osfrisser and the admin team of all these groups, the Supergirl, Flash, Arrow, and Legends, different discussion groups. The Flash one, I think, has about 24,000 members, or it's maybe more than that. I could be wrong, but there's a lot of members, and if you want to join in any of these discussions, join the group. They have a lot of good theories on there, a lot of good memes, pictures, funny discussion. It's a great place to chat it out. If you're not chatting here on Super Chat, we got to wrap up this crossover from last week. Okay, did you guys enjoy it? Do we like the crossover? I thought the Legends finale was pretty cool.
Yeah.
Okay, any special moments that you guys particularly liked besides just all their awesome? You see their costume. Oh, man, just a really cool shot of all their costumed superheroes. Any favorite moments from the crossover?
A lot of good battle scenes. I mean, it's always cool when they all are working together and everything.
Yeah.
And the aliens are pretty vicious looking.
They were.
I mean, they're trying to say that no, we're just trying to we're good and we're just trying to keep you from being bad, but you got those vicious teeth.
I know.
I just don't believe them.
And they did a good job portraying the Dominators. Now, have you read Invasion? Are you familiar with this? Did you think that they did a good job with the Dominators?
I thought they did a very good job.
I thought they did good. That was some awesome special effects, and they have been killing it with special effects on these shows. I liked at the end how there was a part where Sarah Lance and Ollie referenced that it got kind of all started with them, because if we think about it, it's the Arrowverse. And we've all watched some of Arrow here, and it did start with them, and sometimes you forget it because it's kind of become the Flashverse. Barry has kind of taken over that lead.
He's the one who's actually brought all the characters together.
He has. He is, you know what, he's a uniter. Ollie's more of the lone wolf, but Barry is good at uniting the crowd. Now, there's a point in it where Cisco, because he's had all these issues with Barry because of Flashpoint messing up his personal timeline, Cisco messes up the timeline in the crossover. And he has forgiven Barry. Do you think that'll last?
Yeah, you know, that's the thing. It's like it was so heavy in the Flash, and then all of a sudden he's okay with it. So I'm wondering how that's going to play with the, you know, because that was the one. It was basically one episode where he gave him, and it wasn't in the Flash episodes.
Yeah, he has forgiven him quickly both times for this.
Yeah.
But there is a theory that somebody posited last Super Chat that perhaps there's a scene in The Flash where he vibes fighting Killer Frost, and perhaps really Killer Frost was not the bad guy, and maybe Cisco is the bad guy. So we'll see. It is, it's a good theory because the obvious choice is that it's Killer Frost, but they're never doing the obvious thing on these shows.
Yeah, that's a good twist. That's a good twist.
It'd be a good twist.
And that also plays to this episode where Savitar mentions, you know.
That somebody will betray him. Now, you're a big Supergirl fan, and Cisco has given her Kara Danvers, I'm saying it backwards, Cara Danvers. Cara Danvers. So she can breach into their Earth at any time. Now, apparently, she's going to come over into the Flash world for a musical crossover.
I saw that, and I think I'm going to watch that episode.
Yeah, you into
that too? Cause,
you a musical fan?
Well, I like the Supergirl series.
Yes.
So I got to watch what she's in. This for me is one of the better shows.
Yeah.
Because it's sort of like a throwback to the 60s Batman and the 50s Superman show.
It is, yeah.
As far as
More lighthearted.
yeah, it is.
It's kind of like the beacon of light where Flash used to be, and it kind of got dark there, especially last year. Now, do you think that because Supergirl has become on CW, have you noticed some changes or things you like better about it?
Well, it's basically, I don't think it's changed that much. I mean, John Johns is still there as head dude.
Yeah.
And then they have this creature that was John Jones too.
Yes.
Yeah.
But
Cyborg.
Cyborg.
That should have been. I felt that should have been Dean Cain. I thought this.
Could
Yeah.
have been.
I do find it interesting how they bring back the characters from old TV shows into this, like Dean Cain and was it Barry, the Flash, Jay Garrick.
And we will talk about the Trickster is back. Mark Hamill.
Was that Mark Hamill?
Yeah, he was
gonna
back.
say,
Took some time off of shooting Star Wars.
Well, he's got some
for our little
busy.
CW network. He's doing big things. But I've noticed they've had some more in references on Supergirl. Some more if you've grown up reading the comic books, you might appreciate Supergirl even more now because they're appealing more towards a targeted comic reader audience.
There's a lot of Supergirl fans out there, believe me, a lot. She started in Adventure Comics, and I'm not sure, 281 was her ongoing series, issue 281. But her first appearance was in Action Comics 210.
She's been going on for a while.
252, that's right, 252.
Yeah.
And there's every show we go to, people ask for Supergirl.
Yeah,
stuff.
she's popular. A lot of kids have been dressing up like her for Halloween this year. There seems to be a lot of like Supergirl products everywhere. Maybe it's just a girl power movement. It's the right person, right time.
Sure.
Isn't there like
thing.
a superhero girls, and I forget what it's called, but DC has something with the superhero girls or something like that?
They might.
It's like a cartoon or something.
They might. That sounds familiar. I'm not sure, but they might. And if they don't, they should, and you should do it. Call them up. Yeah. Call up DC.
I'm pretty sure, because people asked me to draw a character that was in that. I'm like, well, I haven't heard about that.
Huh.
Yeah,
well, now we have to, if you guys know, if you're watching on the web, tweet at me at Just Jess WCCB. I want to know. The Flash last night, it was the mid-season finale. It was a big episode, and I thought it was a really well done one. And I tell you, the last few minutes of all these episodes are going to give me a heart attack because I was expecting something totally awful to actually happen at the end and leave a cliffhanger, and it didn't. And so the whole time I was watching and I was anxious. But there were a lot of fun moments. What were some of your favorite moments from last night's The Flash?
Well, I missed The Flash last night, so I have not.
The big reveal.
I'll watch it on.
There you go. He'll write in later.
Yeah.
Yes.
That was going to say the reveal with who Alchemy is, which I kind of guessed it was going to be.
It was obvious, but I think it was good that it wasn't two villains. I thought it was good that it wasn't two villains because in the comics, isn't Desmond Elbert is also he's half of Dr. Alchemy, so it's like two people.
Oh,
right. Okay, so I was glad that they didn't make him a second villain. Really, it's Savitar working through him.
Yeah, and he didn't even realize who he was.
Yeah,
and that was another thing too. It's not like he was so.
And I like that character did not know, and he's such a great actor. I hope he stays on the show, especially he's like a Harry Potter alum. But one of the better great actors that made an appearance again was Mark Hamill. He was on as the Trickster, and he was even creepier, even more Joker-y.
Yeah, totally.
This time, do you think we'll ever see the Joker? Or is this the closest we'll get to the Joker being in this Arrowverse?
Oh, in Arrowverse, because it's in the other. Gotham, they're not.
Yeah, he's in Gotham, but that's not us.
Yeah, no.
So we can do our own thing.
Yeah, I don't think so. I mean, I have noticed that. And you're saying what's changing with Supergirl this season. It seems like each of the shows have their own world of where their villains come from.
Yes.
Like Flash is metahuman.
Yeah.
And Supergirl seems to be doing the alien thing.
Alien.
So they're going with aliens, and Arrow does the whole, not a problem. Yeah. Yeah. Exactly.
And it's not ever. Well, Damien Dark had some superpowers. He was my least favorite.
Yeah, but it's less of the power thing.
Yeah, it's more of an actual like a dude that is mad at Ollie for something he's done. The special effects in this episode is pretty cool. What are your thoughts on it? Now, I think it's like super commendable to the CW and Warner Brothers to have this amount of special effects in a show, but then at times, because it is a show, it doesn't have the budget that like a Marvel movie does. Does it take you out of it ever? You can kind of see back here. I mean, you know it's digitally animated.
Yeah.
And it's cool.
I've seen worse ones. And I was curious why they made Savitar all metal.
Right. Yeah.
They could have made him a character as well. I mean, but still, that's not too terrible. I've seen some ones where you can see
that
him
actually
walking.
looks good.
Yeah,
it's not bad at all.
It's done. They did a really good job, but sometimes I wonder if it's left more to the imagination, because when I'm watching and I do think, oh, that's special effects, but it's impressive. But sometimes I wonder, maybe leave it a little bit more to the imagination, and that's even scarier. But it's cool to see Jay Garrick back fighting with the Flash again. So we see that Savitar is working through Julian as Dr. Alchemy, and then he is also trying to use Cisco through the use of bringing back Dante, his brother, which I of course think that Cisco would be sad about his brother, but they did not get along from what I remember.
was going to say that. I was like, oh yeah, my brother. They were like fighting.
They really
Maybe
did
that
not like
changed
each
in one of
other.
the Flash points as well.
Maybe in this Flashpoint timeline, they were besties. So it's interesting that Savitar is using, like, finding the sadness within somebody to kind of open up this portal to talk with them.
Never follows through either.
Yes, and we saw in the episode a glimpse of the human Savitar at some point. Do you think we'll ever see him at human form?
Yeah, I remember that. He was.
Yeah.
They showed a glimpse of him, and he was like bald or something like that.
Yeah, and apparently, Emergency Awesome, a YouTuber, said that he was the guy who played Colossus in it was X-Men Days of Future Past, Daniel Cudmore. So that's who that was, apparently. You can't see his face, but I kind of wonder if we'll ever see the human form of Savitar. I don't know.
Yeah, and I was trying to figure out too, is the box that they threw into, where did they exactly throw that?
They threw it into the Speed Force.
Into the Speed Force.
But did it work?
Yeah, and that's kind of confusing, because there was an episode where Barry went to the Speed Force.
Yeah,
and all that
the
stuff.
Kevin Smith episode last year.
Yeah, exactly.
The dinosaur one, yeah.
And so I wonder if that's going to, I guess, be recollected in this whole situation, because,
I wonder,
you think they'd be mad at him, as Savitar.
Yeah, and it seems like at the end of the episode, they seem like everything's peachy keen, it's all fine, but it's not. It's half the season, so something's going to happen. And there's a point in which the Savitar, speaking through Julian, says to Barry that his friends, one will betray him, one will fall, and one will meet a fate worse than death. Who do we think will betray him, first of all?
Well, let's see. I don't know. I mean, Cisco's obvious, because he's already has a grudge.
Yeah.
That's what I would say.
You would say Cisco. I thought, my guess was maybe Wally betrays him, because maybe Wally gets in a place because he's youthful, he doesn't have the wisdom yet to not hold back, and maybe he's in a place of danger and he says something he shouldn't. And betrayed, maybe not in a super awful way, but he betrays his trust or something.
You don't know what kind of weight all those things have.
Right.
How much of a betrayal are you talking about?
Exactly. He didn't water his plants.
You betrayed me.
You've betrayed me. So somebody will fall. Who do you think will fall?
Do you think it was the Iris thing? I mean,
Iris may die.
Iris? You think Iris will die?
Yeah.
Do you think that because of the comics?
Because of the comics.
Because of the comics?
Because of the comics.
Yeah, well,
and that was it. You missed it. Is that she
does.
He flashed into the future and saw her die. So I'm wondering if that is what he was talking about.
So maybe it's that could be, because that happened. He says this before this happens to Barry.
Yeah.
That's a good point. We don't know for sure. As Jay Garrick tells Barry, the future has not yet written itself. And then who will meet a fate worse than death? And what would that be?
fate worse than death.
Oh yeah, that's what I was wondering too. It's like,
and if it's not Barry,
maybe Wally loses his powers for him, and getting him taken away.
That could be a fate worse than death for him. I was thinking maybe because of that prediction of possibly it's Killer Frost having to kill or fight Vibe, maybe Caitlin is forced to kill Cisco. Maybe Cisco does betray him, or he just falls into like evil, and Caitlin has to kill him. And that's a fate worse than death, having to kill your best friend. That would not be, because they don't seem to have other friends besides the Star Wars.
No, it takes up a lot of time.
It does, yeah. They're co-worker friends. Any opinions on who might meet the fate worse than death?
That would make sense to me, what y'all are thinking, for sure.
Caitlin.
Unless it's Jay.
Oh, could be Jay. But are we emotionally attached to Jay Garrick?
Yeah, that's true. He's kind of...
Let's hope nothing happens to Jay.
I know. We like Jay Garrick. So there'll be 3 speedsters now with Wally, Jay Garrick, and the Flash. Okay, who is your favorite speedster?
I like Jay Garrick.
You like Jay
the
Garrick?
original Flash.
He's the OG Flash,
Right. He's the original.
Yes.
And,
I have to go with the Barry Allen Silver Age Flash.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm more Barry.
Barry.
Yeah.
Me too. Sorry, Wally.
Well, he's still, but he's got to prove himself. I mean, that's the thing, is they kept like saying, oh, we don't want him to train. It's like, come on, just like HG said, is if we don't do it, someone's going to.
Someone's going to. And there was a good quote that reminded me. HR said, the more you deny someone their potential, the more they're going to look for it elsewhere, which made me think perhaps that is why Wally might be the one to portray him, because maybe they will deny him his abilities to practice his speed. I don't know how you deny someone that. Just run away. But so maybe he will look, or maybe he'll get somehow kind of brainwashed by Savitar or Alchemy, or he'll become a Dr. Alchemy of sorts.
Yeah.
Maybe Savitar will reach through him through maybe the death of his mother or something, and try to brainwash him. But I think there's a lot left in store. I loved that this episode set things up, but it didn't leave a cliffhanger for next season. But we have a whole spring to look forward to see what happens on The Flash. Tonight is the mid-season finale of Arrow, and we saw the 100th episode last week, and it was cool to see a lot of the characters return that we haven't seen in a long time. Who here loves Slade Wilson? He's one of the best. I think he's one of the best. Deathstroke, are you guys into Deathstroke?
One of the best villains in the DC universe.
Yeah, one of the best villains. I agree. So I was really glad to see him back. But the big question is, who is Prometheus? And I want you guys on Twitter to tweet me at Just Jess WCCB of who you think Prometheus is. We'll see who's right. My thought is, could it be a girl? And could we ever see a Talia al Ghul in this universe? What do you think?
Very possible.
Very possible.
Very possible. We've seen Nyssa. We've seen Roz. Why not Talia? So I don't think it's a guy. I'm going to say it right here. I don't think it's a guy that's Prometheus. And their costume is like that of an archer's.
Will they reveal it this episode, you think?
I don't think they will. Maybe.
That's the thing, is if they usually like to throw in a little bit of a setup if it's Talia. So maybe, there's time for that. It doesn't take much.
We'll see. Here's the preview for tonight's episode of Arrow. It's the mid-season finale.
We had a deal. I get to be there when you take him down.
I'm not going to kill him. I'm going to make him wish he was dead.
Prometheus knows who we all are.
He knows that I'm the Green Arrow.
I know everything. Who you love, who you trust, who you've hurt.
Evelyn, why?
This city needs to be saved from you.
Ooh, I still think it's a girl. I think Prometheus is a girl. Why not? We haven't had a girl big bad yet in this universe, so very well could be. So again, if you would like to meet these guys, come buy some of Jonathan's art, go to Charlotte Comicon this Sunday. It is $5 to get in. 12 and under are free. And got to check out all the special guests. It's going to be a lot of fun. It's from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m.
That's correct.
Okay.
It's a very family oriented show.
And can people cosplay if they want?
Oh, yes.
Oh,
we have hundreds.
Hundreds.
Is there a contest this year?
Yes, every show there's a contest at 3:30.
Awesome. And speaking of cosplayers, another event, if you want to go to this maybe after or before, you check out Charlotte Comicon. If you want to go to our Panthers lair, we'll be there from 11 to, I think it's 11 to 1, right before the Panthers game. Our cosplayers will be there. You can get their picture with them, play Plinko with the CW Street team, and win prizes. So this is going to be our break until we come back in the new year, 2017, with all of the DCCW fun from all of us at Super Chat. Thanks for being here. Happy chatting and have a happy holiday season.